Hey, what's good with it, guys? Joker back here with another video. This one is going to be doing a video about why Spider-Man, of course, just broke every single record there is, why it was so massive. And this is from a casual fan, as far as a casual Marvel fan, casual movie. I don't want to say casual moviegoer, but I go to movies a lot. But just basically giving you a landscape of me not, you know, being just a die-hard, into the numbers type situation. So before I get started, do the thing. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified of all new interviews. So with that being said, Spider-Man Brand New Day has surpassed pretty much every box office expectation when it comes to first day in weekend. It didn't pass global as far as Avengers does have that at 1.2 billion for the first weekend. Spider-Man came in at around 937 million, but as far as for 72 million on a Thursday, which is the highest grossing Thursday ever for any type of anything. So we're making his Spider-Man Brand New Day is making history. 72 million on Thursday. Over technically they had it listed at 357 million for the weekend, but they didn't tally up the Sunday numbers. They just had to project it. So I think they still had Avengers before that, and then finally, boom, the Sunday projection came in, and Spider-Man actually did $360 million domestically for the first weekend. And again, 937 million global. Then it had the biggest Monday. It made 42 million, I believe, 47 or maybe 42 million on Monday. That's more than movies make for an entire weekend, for a Monday. And again, this is not a holiday. It's not Memorial Day, anything like that. It's not leading into Labor Day or anything. This is a Monday, a regular Monday, a regular Monday, basically. Put it like that. In August. With that being said, for the week, it's made the most money is made in a week. It's just massive. There are questions of will it pass Force Awakens domestically, which made 900 million. I believe it's at 460 million right now. And mind you, this is probably as of 2 days ago. But will it pass? Will it pass Star Wars Force Awakens, which made 900 million domestically? That's the biggest movie that was ever, domestically, money made. So, with that being said, this is a conversation about why I feel the movie did as well as it did. When they had projections, they had projections in the 200 million, 260 million, and of course it finally went up to 300 million, and it blew past that by 60 million more. And when I have this conversation, I kind of want to just preface it basically by saying, again, I am a regular moviegoer. I've seen all the MCU movies. I've watched most of the Disney Plus shows. And again, there's a reason why it did it as well as it did. And I think they say superhero fatigue exists. I don't think it does. I think we just want great stories. And it's because we haven't had any great stories is the first reason. The first reason why this movie did so well. When you come off the Marvels, which is of course is one of the biggest bombs, and this is of course every movie that's outside of Avengers Endgame. So what they've been doing since Avengers Endgame, it's just been to me hit and miss. The Thunderbolts, okay. The Eternals, okay. Shang-Chi, to me, people love that movie, okay. And mind you, this is the director who directed Shang-Chi. But I think it's because there was no build-up to Shang-Chi. We didn't get an end credit scene in no other movie before Shang-Chi came to give us, these are just all new IPs basically, a part of the comics, but new IPs to us MCU goers. So normally each movie kind of built up to another movie in the past, and this one did not. In the first days of the MCU, when Iron Man met, when he met Nick Fury, it basically showed like, hey, there's a bigger world, and we're leading to the Avengers. So that's what you knew, and that's Iron Man 1. You also knew that the Hulk existed because he went to go meet with General Ross. So you're like, all right, with the Hulk and Iron Man, you have that Avenger lead up. Again, at the end of Captain America, at the end of, I forgot what movie it was, but they showed Thor's hammer. At the end of Captain America, they show him leading up to the Avengers as far as running down the street. Each movie led up to what was about to come next, and nothing led up to Shang-Chi, nothing led up to the Eternals, nothing led up to nothing. So I think, and of course, Doctor Strange was a big hit and miss as far as I don't think Sam Raimi was the best person for that job. It made it almost like a horror movie, but Sam Raimi makes campy movies. Like, he makes like camp horror, like, the Evil Dead series. It's not quite horror, but it's campy. You don't have to get too scared, but, some stuff happening. And that's where, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness went. As far as the bad guy in that, it was Doctor Strange. So, we're losing out on bad guys. It wasn't Dormammu or anything of that nature. And then, of course, you have Ant-Man and the Wasp, which to me was a great build-up to Kang. And even with Loki season 1 and the perfect season 2, with the perfect ending of season 2 of Loki, it built up to Kang is going to be this thing, this entity. And we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and he got killed by ants, or he got beat by ants, and it just didn't sit well as far as the way they did Kang. And of course, Jonathan Majors, he had his issues, he had his drama, so therefore, everything in the MCU was not hitting. So what we're doing is, once they got announced that Spider-Man Brand New Day was coming out and Doomsday was coming, you kind of get excited. You're all right, bet, let's see what Spider-Man could bring this thing back. So that's one of the main reasons why this movie done so well, because there's a yearning to get back to what Infinity War was, what Endgame was. And again, we had that in No Way Home. That was probably the only pre-Endgame movie that gave the movie justice, No Way Home. And to me, again, I already ranked my Spider-Mans. It goes, with Tom Holland, it goes No Way Home, then this movie, Brand New Day, then Spider-Man Homecoming, then Far From Home. So to me, No Way Home is still better than Brand New Day. But again, we haven't had a great movie since No Way Home, and that was right after Endgame. So you're yearning for something to be good with your original characters, your original OG characters. If you're not gonna get Iron Man, Thor, even Hawkeye, will probably have a better movie going experience than these other movies. So Spider-Man was a great comeback to form, so there's the anticipation of that. The second thing, as far as that made it, to me, be so great was 2026, the movie-going experience. You've lost a lot of hope in movies after a while, but when you go see movies like Obsession, you go see Backrooms, you waiting for Christopher Nolan to drop The Odyssey. These are movies that kind of take you on a little journey as far as, hey, in March we're gonna go watch this. This is gonna be good. In February we're gonna watch this. In May we're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna get to the summer blockbuster season. So to have some movies leading up to the summer blockbuster season just be as good as they were, it just gave people hope in the movies again. Like, all right, maybe we're releasing great movies, because it's been since COVID, 2020, and the writer's strike, that I believe was 2021 or 2022, the writer's strike, where we were just getting bad project after bad project. People lost hope in the movies. So I think once we start getting back-to-back hits, people felt like, hey, this Spider-Man is gonna be another hit. Like, how could it miss when it seems like the movies is back on track to give us great movies? So when you win the audience movie-going experience back, I think that's what gives this movie so much faith, because the Odyssey is an adult movie. It's not really for kids, but with adults being there, sorry, guys walking by. With adults being there, it actually makes the movie that much better. But when the full family's there, even if the movie's not better, it just makes the movie-going experience better. So Spider-Man Brand New Day, it's the longest I've seen the lines, as far as popcorn lines. Everyone had popcorn, everyone's buying candy, everyone, and also Michael. I don't want to forget the Michael Jackson movie, that biopic, just crossed $1 billion. It just gave you hope, because even the Michael could have been a misfire. Could have gave us, okay, the Odyssey might suck, Spider-Man may suck, because you don't want to see movies like that misfire. Like, Hollywood has to get it right, and this has to be companies, producers, and production companies putting movies out that gives us credit to say we're going to put out a great movie. So with that being said, we were having back-to-back hits, and with Spider-Man being such a global national name, it's going to work. A third thing that I feel made it one of the, made history, was because of the way they chose to do the trailer. We live in a time now, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 just announced a trailer for the trailer. On August 27th, they're going to be releasing a sneak peek of Grand Theft Auto 6 that's going to come out in November, where they're actually doing an announcement for the trailer, which is crazy. But Spider-Man Brand New Day, we knew it was coming, and we had no trailer. We had nothing to show of what this movie's going to be about. I think we saw that they were filming overseas, and they were filming of course Spider-Man on a tank scene, which is cool. You know, to say, all right, we got behind the scenes, but most average movie goers don't look at the behind the scenes of movies and don't even care what the behind the scenes is. So to say that we didn't get a trailer for a July movie, a movie that's coming out July 27th, we didn't get a trailer for that movie until I believe May. Mind you, most movies will show you a trailer or a teaser a year before it comes out. A year. This one didn't show even a trailer until 2 months before the movie came out. 2 months. And then literally, you know, you don't know who's in it, you don't know who the bad guy is. And then of course, you know, you get a tease of, you don't know the Hulk is in it, but you see Dr. Banner, so you assume the Hulk's in it. And mind you, people who know that like the Hulk's gonna be in it. If they got Dr. Banner, they got Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk's gonna be in it. But you didn't know the context, so the random moviegoer does not know the Hulk's gonna be in it. So to build up to May to say, here's the trailer, and then wait till I believe in June they showed the final. That was just a teaser trailer. Then they gave you the final trailer in June, to where you see the Hulk. You're like, all right, you got me. It looks cool. Spider-Man, the Hand, Punisher. Okay, Punisher's in it. That looks cool. Scorpion's in it, and the Hulk. You say, okay, we got multiple. You know, whether Punisher could be a villain, Scorpion's a villain, Hulk could be a villain. The Hand. You have 4 villains, and then there's an unknown sense of something else bigger. So you're already leading like what's happening, why, what's going on. So that is the third reason why I feel like this movie did so big, because they kept it a secret as far as what it's gonna be, what is the movie gonna be. And mind you, having a trailer come at the last minute, it just showed you what it was gonna be. Fourth reason was literally we have Doomsday coming. We haven't had an MCU movie, a real one, I feel, since, I want to say the Marvels, like that's actually intertwined into the overall global scale of things. I want to say the Marvels. I can't remember if Doctor Strange, I can't remember what came out, but I want to say the Marvels feel like the last movie that we had on a global scale, where they showed Beast at the end, and Monica Rambeau, they showed her, I forgot, I don't know if she's Polaris, I don't know who she's supposed to be, but they showed Beast at the end. So you're knowing that the X-Men is coming, you're knowing that. With the anticipation of X-Men 97 season 2, that was the only thing that we known, like, all right, Doomsday is coming. We know that the X-Men are going to be in it. We've seen Robert Downey Jr. do the long line of cast names. So after Beast, you're knowing that Spider-Man, we're going to see what Spider-Man is going to add to this to bring to the MCU. To bring to Doomsday. So you're going there to see what is Spider-Man going to deal with for this movie. But towards the end, they're going to give you, Marvel's going to give you something, whether a mid-credit scene, a post-credit scene, or even at the very end of the movie, something that's going to lead to the bigger play of what Doomsday is going to be about. Now, that's the anticipation for it. Of course, no one wants to be spoiled, so everyone wants to be there day one. That's why Thursday was so big. That's why Friday was so big. That's why Saturday was so big. Sunday, no one wants to be spoiled about what's coming for Doomsday. Of course, as you know, and spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, there is no mid-credit scene. The ending of the movie actually ends very anticlimactic with him and Ned doing their, thing. Just kind of Ned knowing that, that this is Spider-Man basically. But at the very end of the movie, there is a post-credit scene. How does it tie to? And I'm sorry, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts actually showed the Fantastic Four coming to, to the MCU. And Fantastic Four was a great movie in itself. Galactus was a great villain. It wasn't the greatest movie because it was so out of the world and it was, an alternate universe, but it was still a good introduction to Fantastic Four. I still feel like they could have did better with Reed Richards, who plays him. And, anyway, I have my gripes about that movie. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, so the end credits for Spider-Man, you actually saw Spider-Man, Spider Tracker going off. That was, of course, introduced. Spider Tracker going off, and then it leaves Earth and it goes into the universe. And it shows like basically there's another Spider-Man in the universe. And people talk Battle World. People talk maybe this is where Doomsday is, or maybe this is just another Earth. Possibly this is just another Earth. We don't know. But all this shows is that a Spider-Man will return at the very end. So it gives us that. So that's what we got. That wasn't the biggest thing, but that's what we got in regards. The fifth reason I feel the movie did so great was because the real life story between Tom Holland and Zendaya. Of course, the Odyssey came out before that, 2 weeks before that. Um, Odyssey has Tom Holland and Zendaya and John Bernthal. You know that Tom Holland and Zendaya's real life relationship was existing, in real life. So people love a good love story. The Spider-Man Brand New Day plot is technically a love story. I don't believe it's about Sadie Sink, Jean Grey. I'm sorry, Jean Grey. I don't believe it's about Jean Grey. I don't believe it's about, Hulk, Punisher. It's really just a story between Peter Parker. It picks up right where No Way Home left off, where he left Zendaya, he left his friends, and it's a love story of how do you win your loved one back? How do you get the person you love to fall back in love with you? And that's what the movie's about to me, and that's what makes the movie work. But again, you're following a real life story where Zendaya and Tom Holland get married, and these are real, true life celebrities. When it comes to celebrities, they are the cream of the crop when you talk about celebrityism. But they got married in real life, so people want to see how their chemistry is on screen. They were just in the Odyssey. They didn't have any scenes together in the Odyssey, but they were just in the Odyssey. The Odyssey was a great movie in itself. It did what it did, and it was just amazing. So that's, again, the fifth reason I feel like the movie did so well, because at the core heart of the movie, it is still just another love story. It is just a love story, and love stories is where you want to win in movies. If you don't have a plot to your movie, whether it's an action movie, a horror movie, a thriller, whatever, make it technically at its core a love story, and your movie will do wonders. Your movie will do wonders. The sixth reason why this movie broke numbers was because the movie was shot for Screen X. So as Christopher Nolan was shooting his Odyssey in all IMAX, it made IMAX a thing. I heard there's people talking more about IMAX now than ever. They're going to see the Odyssey. I got to see the IMAX, 70 millimeter. I got to see how it was originally supposed to be shot. They start showing, you scroll through Instagram, you start seeing what regular theaters look like, what IMAX theaters are like, how much screen you're losing. So people are excited to see, like, all right, I like these novelty type movies. So with Spider-Man being shot for Screen X, which is basically the screen and the side screens going on the side, they had scenes shot strictly for that movie. It's a novelty thing. It's like, hey, this is supposed to be seen in the movies. You got to go see it like this. So people went to go watch it in Screen X. My first viewing on Thursday was Screen X. Theater was packed. The theater was crazy, insane. And I'm talking about like every theater I was booking for Screen X, I had a corner seat down at the bottom. So I only could see like the left side of the screen. I couldn't see what was right, above me. But that's how thick Screen X was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because people want to see it. And Spider-Man boasted that this was shot for Screen X. It was also shot in IMAX. IMAX is going to do what it's going to do. It's beautiful, and it was shot in IMAX, so I seen it in technically Screen X, and I did go see it in IMAX. I went to go see it in 40X in Mexico. We're going to get to that. That's my seventh reason. But yeah, so watching the viewing experience of watching larger-than-life things come together, that's what's going to bring the people out. It's going to bring whoever out. And the seventh, and I think my final reason, I'm going to say my final reason. Seventh and final reason is the global scale of Spider-Man. No, actually, I have an eighth reason. But seventh reason is the global scale of Spider-Man. So I watched it on Thursday on Screen X, and then I went to Cancun, Mexico to watch it in 4DX in Mexico. And again, me going to the Las Americas Mall, one of Cancun's biggest malls, to watch it there. They have Cinépolis there. They have it in 4DX. 4DX, of course, is when the chairs are moving, when the water's splashing, the air is boasting. That Spider-Man, I don't go to all movies 4DX. My best experience with 4DX prior was Top Gun Maverick. That was a great 4DX experience as far as the feeling of flying and the chairs moving. And I knew that, there's other movies. I heard F1 was great in 4DX. I haven't seen the Odyssey in 4DX. I'm going to go see it because I heard there's splashing water on you. But I am going to go see 4DX, IMAX, that movie. But, Spider-Man, he's swinging. You're going to feel air. You're going to feel the swing. And exactly that's how you watch a 4DX movie. I went to see Spider-Man. Now, to me, it was a little bit too shaky. Like the rumbling of him having to land, and I wouldn't want to be Spider-Man. The way that chair was moving, I would not want to be Spider-Man. I don't want to feel that. But it was a great experience to actually watch. I would have turned the knobs, I would turn the level down a little bit as far as the shakiness, but for air to be blowing when he's swinging, air to be blowing in your face, um, the chairs to be shaking while he's swinging, from left to right. Shocker, using the shock hands, the lights is flashing. Again, wind blowing, lights flashing, chairs shaking. It's amazing. But the point of that is to say that I was in Mexico watching this. Mind you, they have multiple screens in Mexico that only, of course, is Spanish, but then they also have subtitle screens, which is the movie's in English and it's Mexican subtitles. So when I pulled up every theater was packed, and this was on, I want to say this was on a Monday. Yeah, this was on Monday. So this is the Monday after. So I'm going to the Cinépolis. The theater is packed. I'm talking about lines are long. And mind you, I don't speak Spanish, but when you go to the mall, no one speaks Spanish. No one speaks English. You have to know Spanish. So I have to tell them I need Spider-Man 40X. So I'm trying to work it out. But the mall is crazy. Not even the mall is packed. The theater is crazy packed. Every theater sold out. The lines for popcorn, the lines for sodas, everything, it's just full. And I'm like, this is in Mexico. Spider-Man's doing this in Mexico. Kids are dressed like Spider-Man. And I'm like, this is amazing. I get to the mall 3 hours early just to buy some 40X seats. I get to the mall 3 hours early just to buy some 40X seats for later. So I got my seats, but I barely got those seats. So I got them, watched the movie, but it just lets me know like the global reach of Spider-Man is insane. And the seventh and final reason I feel like the movie just did crazy is marketing. What I heard is that Spider-Man, even though it cost $250 million to make, it also spent $250 million in marketing to market the movie. But for the brands that was part of this movie, they made $362 million for brands to be attached to this movie. So when I go to Little Caesars and I see Spider-Man on the box, the pizza, they have their own pepperoni pizza. McDonald's, all Spider-Man toys. I know from back in the day when Batman movies used to come out, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, McDonald's was a big part of a blockbuster movie, summer movies push. It's a big part of it. Normally a movie came with a game. Doesn't need to come like that because we already have Spider-Man on PlayStation. It's great. It's a great game. You can go play. If you want to feel what the game feels like, go play Spider-Man. And a lot of people bought the game. The money went up on that. Fortnite introduced Spider-Man. I think Honda, whatever car, I think it was Hyundai or Ford or some car company, Spider-Man. Spider-Man was everywhere. Spider-Man was everywhere in regards to the marketing. The marketing push as far as brands being attached to it. I think he was probably in Maybelline. I don't even know. He was probably in makeup commercials. But I remember Messi had a commercial where he got paid $15 million to say 4 words during the World Cup. Messi being part of Spider-Man is such a global phenomenon during the World Cup. Again, all these things together, meshed together, made this movie the biggest global opening ever. And I think every movie going forward has to take note to see exactly the storm that brought this movie together. And also that no movie came out a week before The Odyssey came out, no movie came out a week after. So there was no new movies as far as on a global scale. And then Spider-Man. So Spider-Man had The Odyssey to compete with because no new movies came out. So, and that's very rare for a summer day, middle of July, there's not a new movie to come out. Of course you have also, Supergirl was a couple other movies, that helps as well. So you want to have faith in a movie that you know could deliver, and Spider-Man does deliver. That's how it works. Word of mouth, it does deliver. I went and watched it. I went back, told my wife, told my kids, y'all have to watch this movie. Y'all have to watch this movie. So I took them to Mexico. So that was an experience for them to watch a movie in Mexico. So that's how this movie has moved. Again, it's a love story. So will Doomsday pass it? I don't know. Will Dune 3 pass it? No, I don't think Dune 3 has that kind of audience. Those who love Dune 3 love it, but it's not a movie for everybody. But Doomsday has the ability to, but I feel like they dropped the ball on their first trailer. They don't explain Doom or why he's around. For someone who doesn't know who Doom is, you don't even know why is an overpowered villain bigger than Thanos, who they built up Thanos from for damn near 20 movies, they built up to Thanos. Why is Doom just comes out of nowhere, and then you hear Thor talking about he's more scared of Doom than anyone. He's more scared of Doom than Thanos, which of course I get. So we don't know why he's scared of Doom, but I guess they're gonna show us in the movie. But again, the trailer doesn't show us. Hopefully a second trailer gives us more. But Doomsday. Dr. Doom was not earned at all. You know, to show him at the end of Fantastic Four, rubbing Susan's son, Nate Richards or whatever his name is. Okay, Doom snuck in your building and is rubbing a child. That's nothing. Like, well, again, I'm hoping that they do something to course correct what Doomsday is going to be, because I don't think they're going to touch this one because it didn't build to nothing. Yes, the X-Men are in it. Yes, we see Cyclops, Optic Blast going crazy, but where's Wolverine? There's questions, man. Where's Spider-Man? So I do believe Secret Wars. Doomsday is going to course correct the MCU for all of, the Avengers basically. So it's going to course correct the Avengers movies, but I think Secret Wars might be the one that's going to come close to doing what Spider-Man Brand New Day did. So I'm excited for Secret Wars going into next year. For the movies to drop back to back, kind of like Infinity War and Endgame. Smart, same thing like with Matrix Revolutions and Reloaded. I love when movies drop, at least within 6 months to a year for part 2 and 3 or whatever it's going to be. So we'll see. With that being said, that's my take on why Spider-Man did so great. Before you get out of here, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and jump in the comments. Let me know what your reason or why you feel that Spider-Man did so great for it to be the #1 movie in the world and break all these crazy records that's never been broken before, and how many more records will it break? With that being said, I'm out.